What's up guys, Christoph here for another Elestrals video. Just recently, Shattered Stars Aries was announced and we are getting our first look at Divine Champions, specific cards in that set that are going to be legal on May 1st for Premier events. So I figured I'd take today to go over a fire build that I think we could see in the metagame. Obviously, I'm sure people are going to come up with a better deck, but at least first look at the new cards. This is what a hot take I have for it. So first thing, we are going to have double Ash Rabbit. One thing for me I love about the bunny is that you're going to grab cards from Underworld. Yeah, it is destroyed by Spoiled Fruit, but it's having a 5 defense. Go ahead and pair that with your Stadium, bring it up to a 6, and then re-enchant it every turn to grab more stuff from Underworld. If you're going to have your Ambrosia in the Underworld, if you're going to have your artifacts, your counter runes, whatever you need, if they destroyed your Valkyries and you really need it back, you can go ahead and use Bunny's effect. Your opponent gets to pick one of 3, but at the same time, it works in your favor. Me personally, I've done it multiple times that I'll do Ambrosia, Eruption, Shield of Achilles. They're going to pick the Ambrosia, which keeps me in the game a little bit longer. I did think Belleby would be a cool tech in here. All your Fire Elestrals get +1 attack with just him being on the field. And then once a turn, you can give an Elestral effect that says it's unaffected by counter runes. So you can go ahead and load a guy up and just start swinging into your opponent. Again, if they Gorgon's Gaze this, the effect is a lingering effect, so it still works. But they could block this effect. But at the same time, it's a 2/2. If they Gorgon's Gaze this, I don't feel as bad. The one of Exalt Flare, just to get that quick Nexus or get more spirits on field to help your combo out a little bit. Again, you can Nexus up to 2. When you do, you can special ascend it to a 1 cost or 2 cost fire. With that, we do have Kinleo. Again, you are running I know it's artifacts, but you're going to be running Fire Nexus in this deck. So again, having triple Kinleo makes sense to me just to be able to pop cards. You do have enough counter runes, you do have enough artifacts that you can power this guy up and try to keep him on field. Double Nekruff. I didn't see a reason to have the third one at this moment. We do have the new Remoracle Champion Hephaestus. When you cast this Remoracle, you can return an artifact root from your Underworld to your hand. So again, you're going to do Argo shenanigans, Nexus shenanigans. It just lets you grab that card back. This Remoracle gets +1 attack for each enchanting artifact on the field. So again, similar to the other Remoracle, when Volcanic Forge is on field, it's going to get an additional +1. This one, again, if you have 2 artifacts on field, bumping it to a 5. Not to mention if you use, say, the hammer or necklace on it, it's going to give an additional +1. So not too bad. With all these fire cards and all the fire cards that are going to be staying on field because of the artifacts, I did think Valkyries made sense. If you guys can see, we'll go over the spillover here in a couple minutes, but I do have a second one in there. But Valkyries getting +1 attack for every fire enchanting on the field. Add to that using Nexus shenanigans and also using Volcanic Forge. If you're able to put more spirits on this, then basically it's going to get +2 per spirit that's on it. We are running 3 of the new champion Valkyries. It's a 4/2, which lets you search for your Hephaestus, and then while Hephaestus is on the field, you can go ahead and use your fire spirits from your Underworld to play your artifacts. So the way I look at that, it's free cards. You know, say you're going to be kind of low on spirits, use this guy's effect. You're going to go ahead and use the spirits from Underworld to power your artifacts. Then use that to play cards. Use that to play your Gorgon's Gaze. Use that to play your Argo for your Ambrosia. Whatever you guys have to do. Again, you can only do that for counter runes and invoke runes, but it does give you more spirits on field to utilize. We are running 1 Caprifume. I think Caprifume is a very slept on card, and I'm hoping in the next metagame, especially with Divine Champions, we see this guy come back. It gets +2 for each Fire Elestral on your field. So already by itself, it's up to a 7, so on and so forth. You can expend fire in order to special cast a 1 cost Fire Elestral from your hand. So again, go ahead and get this guy out. Now this is a good card that partners up with Smokey, but Smokey is just draw power, which I didn't feel like it fit in this deck. But go ahead and play Caprifume, bring out your Valkyries. Go ahead and bring out your Exalt Flare to special cast something else. Go ahead and get your Ash Rabbit to go ahead and heal a card and have a defense on field. Whichever scenario you guys want to do. It just depends on where you're at in the game and what you have to do to win. I did toss the 1 Lavalith in. Again, it makes sense. It's a 1 of, and you're already running fire. It makes sense to have this card. Also, which makes sense when you're running fire, is to have Chains of Prometheus. Chains of Prometheus negates a counter rune that's activated, and your opponent gets to heal 1 because of that. Again, if we're going to have Valkyries on field and you're going to be using those spirits from Underworld, you can go ahead and essentially play this card for free. You are going to run 2 Hammer of Hephaestus, +1 attack for each enchanting rune on your field. So again, if you're going to have 3 runes, the Elestral gets +3. And if you go ahead and add that to the Realm Recall, it would be a +4. And then while Hephaestus is enchanted, the Pyro Elestral cannot be targeted by your opponent's Elestral effects. So again, if you're trying to do some shenanigans and you're up against Blizztrix, they can't use Blizztrix effect against your Elestral. They can use it against the Hammer, but not the Elestral. You know, again, if you were going to try to shield it back or whatever you're going to do to survive, even if you're going up against another Kinleo that's going to try to pop you, whatever the scenario is, you can kind of give yourself a little more protection. We are running 2 Hephaestuses only, but again, we do have the 3 Valkyries that searches it. So you do have 1/8 of a chance, I believe it is, to go ahead and grab your artifact turn 1. You are running 2 Volcanic Forges. Again, we're running all Fire Elestrals. It makes sense to run this stadium. Typical, we are going to run the 3 Ambro, 3 Shield, and 3 Gorgon's Gaze. That's a staple in all my decks. Shield is better than PTA. I've said it for a long time. I know I kind of backtracked for a little bit, but Shield is better than PTA. We are running 2 Argo. We're running 2 Necklace of Harmonia to give it +5 attack. Remember that expend is mandatory unless you do not have enough spirits to pay it. So this is a card that you don't want to have on field for too many turns. It's going to hurt you. And then we are running 1 Poison Tunic. I thought this would be a cool tech option just if you're going into the last stages of the game. They don't have many spirits left. Go ahead, Argo out your Poison Tunic. Even if it's a crash, they're going to take 2 additional spirits with that clash. Side deck. So the side deck is what me personally I would pull in this deck. This is not mandatory for everybody, obviously, but just you'll understand my thought process as we go. Since we are running the Exalt Flare, I did thought a Blazerus and Trifernal combo would be fun, especially if you do have your Bellowbee out. Then you can go ahead and protect that Trifernal or your Blazerus and deal massive damage to your opponent. The Scavicle I thought would be a good tech. When you go ahead and when you ascend it to it, you can go ahead and expend fire, and you're grabbing 2 fire cards from your deck that are 1 or 2 cost. So again, if you read it correctly, it just says enchantment cost. So if I need to, I can grab Lavalith and Valkyries. I can grab the Hammer of Hephaestus and Hephaestus. Whatever combo I want to use, it's up to 2 cards. We are going to run 3 Small Tuga just to go ahead and search for Fire Elestral if we need it. This is also kind of paired up with your Valkyries. So again, if I'm opening with this, I'll play this guy, grab my Valkyries, next turn grab Hephaestus. It's multiple turns. Things could go wrong, but that's just the thought process. Anyone who knows me knows I love myself some Krakatuga. So I am running a side package with 2 Krakatuga and 3 Eruptions to get the Krakatuga burn going. 1 resting on your laurels just in case. If we do switch to a Krakatuga burn, a lot of the stuff I would switch out would be the Argo package. So we wouldn't necessarily have more spirits on field, so we can go ahead and start popping cards. And then lastly, I got 3 Altar Stars. Thought process is if this combo just runs too expensive with the Necklace and Argo, I could go ahead and switch, say, out the Argos for Altar Stars. Then when I go ahead and use Necklace, powered through my opponent, end of turn, I could always alter that spirit off, which would make it under-enchanted, which would destroy the Necklace. Spirit math for this is 4 water, 16 fire. Again, technically, I don't need water if I wasn't running this side package. But again, I just thought it made sense. And honestly, we could even run 3 water, but just to be on the safe side. Thought process is also if they are going to go ahead and run, say, a water deck, if we are up against water, it'd be good to have these just to go ahead and try to beat over their tsunamis. Spillover. These are just kind of fun little ideas I had that I just wanted to kind of show off. Leo Knight. Leo Knight is slept on. Again, it is a 7/2, so not the best attack stat, but the fact that it says it cannot, no player can cast Invoke Runes while it's in attack position, this card automatically beats Cryoblast. Just kind of keep that in mind. It is not the best card, obviously. You could cast Eddy Switch at the defense, but just a slept-on card that people wouldn't expect to be seen. You guys know I'm a huge Sonic Core fan. Once Sonic Core hits the field, it's either immediate out or you just take control for the next few rounds. Salashade, another card that's not seen too often, which for this one you would have to tack in a one Lunar Spirit, which isn't that big of a deal. But every time someone casts an Elestral, your opponent has to mill the top 3 cards off their deck, and that's including when you cast this guy. And then it also gets +1 for every Elestral in your opponent's underworld. Floracne, again, I know MBT likes this, like said in the stream, I like my Jane cards. I do like the cards that aren't seen too often because I love trying to make little tech ideas. So while Fluoracne is enchanted, Elestrals that are not fire cannot attack the turn they're summoned. This is Racerous, just a bigger defense and a bigger body. So this one would be kind of fun to have, especially if you're going to have all these small guys kind of there to protect them. Second Exalt Flare if you want to do the Nexus Special Ascend combo. Third Bunny in case you needed it. Third Bellowbee again in case you needed it. Second Valkyries if it does seem to be going really good. We do have a second Poison Tunic, just again if you're going to go ahead and try to lower your opponent's effect or lower their spirits by 2 every time the Celestial is destroyed. I just thought that'd be kind of fun to have 2 of them. And then Helios Chariot Ride, again if you're going for the win or you're going for a huge combo, this card is good to have. Doesn't see a lot of play as much, but at the same time, not necessarily a bad card. But that's it for you guys. This is the thought process right now. Again, Cap Perfume super slept on in my opinion. So me personally, once Firestorm comes out, I will be remaking my Cap Perfume deck. Hopefully it can pop off. But the addition of Valkyries and Shattered Stars Aries, once we go ahead and May 1st hits, that last month of the metagame for Moonrise is going to completely shift, I think. I do think you're going to see a lot of different fire decks trying to utilize this combo. It might not be the best. You're not going to see the full spec of the Valkyries deck until Firestorm comes out. But it's going to be interesting what people like to cook up and see what they do. The one thing I will say with the Artifact combo too, shout out to our champion Q. I can't wait to see if he tries to do something with this deck as well. That being said, guys, my name is Stella Christoph. Appreciate you guys watching. If you are new, go ahead and subscribe. Comment down below. Tell me what you think. And hope you guys have a stellar day. See ya.